Yeah. Hey out there. Yeah, this is Earl. I give advice on Harley Davidson repair and maintenance from time to time to try to help people. Anytime I stumble on a problem, I like to share my experience to help other people. Okay, recently, my throttle cable on my 2002 Harley Davidson Softail with the 4.9 gallon tank, instrument cluster speedometer in the middle of the gas tank. Yeah, one of those. You know, it's the bigger machine and everything. My throttle cable broke. This is a throttle cable, okay? Alright. I've never in my life had to change one of these. So, you know, and it was practically impossible to measure. But I finally found out mine uses housing length only 30 and 3/4 inch throttle cable. Same thing for the idler cable. Not counting the screw on elbow. This is the part that goes up by your handlebars, by your throttle, or whatever. These just slip in. This one has a little piece of metal with a groove in it. I suspect a O-ring originally went in there, you know, to make it stay secured or whatever. Alright. I couldn't feel a way to get under there, and I wasn't familiar with the type, you know, guide or bracket that was behind the carburetor. So I started studying on the internet. Okay, Harley's just like mine, or Road Kings, or Heritage Softails, different bikes. They're pretty much all the same that have the wide tank like mine does. Oh my God, here's what I ran into. They show to where that they take the fuel crossover line off from the front of the tank. Remember, take the front bolt out, the rear bolt, and then take the instrument cover off of it. Unplug the wires from the speedometer, turn signals, oil switch, and all this, and remove the tank. Okay, I studied these and I thought, oh boy, man, I've got a job on my hands. Well, I kept studying the issue, and you know what? I found out that that was absolute. I think a lot of these HD maintenance, you know, requirements, they want you to believe you have to do a lot of things so that you'll think, oh my God, I'll just take it in. That way they can hit you with a $500 service charge, you know. But here's what I discovered. And on mine, I didn't have to take the front master cylinder or front brake lever off either. The part that holds the throttle, that has your start button, turn signals, and engine kill switch, is totally separate. It's up next to it, but it's separate. It had one bolt in it, you know, and then I just slid my throttle out after I raised the top half of a 1/4 inch and lowered the bottom half 1/4 inch. Pull my throttle straight out, no problem. And those are easy to work. It just don't lose that little ferrule that the little ball goes in. God, don't let that fall out. It didn't happen to me, you know. But as far as, you know, under the bike, most of these, you know, you push it in, it's where that the bracket is that holds the front of the tank, the bolt. You just slide it in on the right side of the bike, alongside that bracket, just like this. Okay, and if you take your air cleaner cover off, just the cover, on mine I didn't even have to remove the air cleaner, and certainly didn't have to bother removing the support bracket like a lot of these HD videos told me, said that you had to do. Okay, it's actually quite simple. I mean, you can, like, once you push it in, connect it at the carburetor first. Connect your throttle cable and idler cable at the carburetor first. See, that way you can have a lot of extra cable between your gas tank and your carburetor to work with. Because once these are stretched out, if they're the standard size, you're going to have about a 90-degree angle where it goes in the back of the carburetor, the guide there. And you can reach up in there, or you could take a coat hanger and then just put a little hook on the end and reach in there and grab it and pull it out to you. Okay, then pull the wire part, pull it out as far as it'll go, which on the other end, it's going to draw it all the way, you know, to, well, it's, you know, this part right here, it's going to pull it all the way to here. Okay, so you have extra wire hanging out. Okay, and take the wire, hook it to the carburetor linkage where it goes in front. Then put it over, mine has a little idler, it looks like a little wheel, plastic wheel, it goes over the top. Okay, then from there, you reach over to this side, and you grab the little ball here, and you pull this out, take up all the slack. What that's going to do, under that gas tank and on the back of that carb, it's going to pull this part towards your guide. Okay, and then if it's necessary, you can walk around the block. You don't have to remove the horn either. Take a flashlight, light like this one, a mini flashlight, shine it in there. You can take a long skinny screwdriver and push this end into that guide. See, there's no threads, no nut on this. It just simply slides in there. Okay? That's all there is to it. And then from there, after you get that installed, pull this up to your handlebars. Okay? And then take, you know, make sure you have this, your adjustment here, threaded all the way in, you know, for, you know, to install. And then you pull out all the slack, and you've got your wire. Just put it over like this, attach your ferrule to it, put it in the hand grip slot, okay, like that. And then the same thing on your idler cable, and it goes on a slot right under that, goes the opposite direction when you accelerate or decelerate. And then just slide that back in to your where your starter button, turn signals, that assembly, and mine just had one large Torx head bolt in it, and you tighten that down. And then from there, to get all the slack out, put your handlebars straight, and to get all the slack out, just unscrew this and give yourself about this much, about a 1/16 of an inch free play there. See, because you don't want the wire to be under stress or for it to be making the bike idle faster than it normally should. And then after you tighten this nut, after you adjust that slack out, turn your handlebars all the way to the right. See if you still have that much slack. Turn them all the way to the left. Mine did. What I set it at with the handlebar straight, it gave me the same end play as far to the right and to the left as it, you know, had straight one. But I wanted to share this with you people because you don't have to go through all this hellacious hell to do this job. I mean, you can do this without all of this. I'm sorry I couldn't show you. You know, there's only one of me at my house, and I have to do everything alone, you know, or whatever. And lighting is an issue a lot of times. Let's see, what else? Oh, in cups. Let's say you're a man with bigger hands. You know, you got big hands or fat hands, whatever. Look, if push comes to shove, you can always loosen the front tank bolt, but don't take it out. Just loosen the nut, okay? And then the back of the tank, take the one Torx bolt out. Without removing your instrument cluster, you can raise the back of that tank safely about 4 inches. That way you can get your hand in there. Because see, the wiring that wraps around from under goes on both sides of your frame, and it has holders. Most of them are plastic. And then it goes around the front of your tank and then under into your instrument cluster. Okay, when you raise it up slightly, it's only going to make the wires longer, so to say. You follow what I'm saying? Because if it goes in a curve like this, you raise the end of the tank up 4 inches, there's going to be less stress on the wires. You see? So you can safely get away with that and just raise the back of the tank about 4 inches. But I wouldn't go above that, because then you're going to cause an issue with your tank vent hose, you know, and then your crossover line, that's going to bump into part of your frame, you know, that's right behind your neck, fork neck. But anyway, you know, you can do the job a lot easier than I've been watching on the internet. And I didn't just try it my way. I would watch videos, and then I would study, and then I'd lay back in my recliner and I'd think, I'm going to think about this. I'm going to think about this. And I would think about it. And I was able to get the job. I did the job putting my idler cable and my throttle cable on. It took me, I took my time, I stopped, drank a bottle of Gatorade. I like Gatorade, Powerade too. Oh, let's see. I'm going to guess at the time, because I didn't really clock it. Probably 40 minutes. Because it wasn't a complete hour. But anyway, you know, I hope that I helped someone out there, okay? And remember, your Harley will treat you right if you treat it right. Because what if when you woke up in the morning, somebody revved you and made you move real fast? You would get to where you hated that person, and your muscles would get sore, you would have problems. Be easy on your Harley, man. I mean, you know, when you crank these things, don't keep revving the engine up. Just set the idle up a little faster. On mine, I turn in the cruise control screw on the throttle. And I let it run about 2 minutes. I don't sit there and go, roar, roar, you know. I notice most people do that. And then they have all this trouble all the time. You know, I mean, you don't do your car like that. Rev the motor up, you know, when it's cold. Why do you do your Harley like this, you know? It's a bad habit or whatever. But anyway, later people, and be safe. Definitely be safe.